What would happen if I told you that until now, you have only experienced a fraction of what you truly are? That the identity you've built, the thoughts that define you, and the emotions that govern your life are just a small part of a much larger and deeper structure? Ancient spiritual traditions have taught this for millennia. We are not one single body, but four interconnected dimensions that determine how we perceive reality, how we evolve, and what our true connection to the universe is. But here's the key. Until you understand and balance these four bodies, you will remain trapped in illusion. It's like trying to turn on a lamp without realizing the cord isn't plugged in. You can press the switch over and over, but the light will never appear. This knowledge has been hidden, distorted, and reserved only for those ready to see it. It has been present in ancient texts, mystical symbols, in the teachings of past sages. Yet in the modern world, we've been conditioned to ignore it, to believe we are only flesh and bone, disconnected from our essence. Today, we will unearth this secret. We will explore each of these four bodies, their function, their impact on our lives, and most importantly, how to harmonize them to achieve true awakening. But there's something you need to know. The fourth body, the most subtle and mysterious, is the key that connects everything. Understanding it will not only give you answers, but will transform the way you experience life itself. So open your mind, relax, and prepare for a profound journey to the core of your existence, because what you're about to discover could change your reality forever. Since time immemorial, humanity has tried to answer one of the most fundamental questions: what is a human being really? For modern materialist thought, we are just a physical body, a combination of flesh, bone, and brain activity governed by chemical reactions and biological stimuli. But this view, while useful in conventional science, is incomplete. The sages of antiquity had a deeper understanding. The human being is not a single entity, but a composition of multiple interconnected bodies, each operating on different planes of existence. The concept of the four bodies is not new. It appears under different names in various ancestral traditions. In ancient Egypt, priests taught that the human being was composed of distinct spiritual forces or principles. They highlighted the Ka, the vital body, the Ba, the soul that survives death, and the Ak, the divine light that returns to the universe. These principles were the key to transcending earthly existence and achieving spiritual immortality. In India, Vedic philosophy speaks of the koshas, or sheaths of the being, ranging from the physical body to pure consciousness. According to Hindu sages, human life is like an onion with multiple layers that must be understood and transcended to reach enlightenment. In Hermeticism, one of the most influential esoteric doctrines in history, the principle of correspondence is taught. As above, so below, as within, so without. This means that just as the cosmos has multiple dimensions, the human being is also composed of different levels of existence. Tibetan Buddhism speaks of three fundamental bodies: the perishable physical body, the energetic body that survives death, and the body of light, the ultimate manifestation of enlightened consciousness. Advanced monks dedicated their lives to transcending these levels until becoming fully awakened beings. If this knowledge has existed for millennia, why isn't it taught in conventional education? The answer is unsettling. Because a human being who understands and masters their four bodies is a free human being, and inner freedom has always been a threat to any system seeking to control the masses. For centuries, institutionalized religions and reductionist thought models have tried to minimize or even eradicate the idea that the human being is much more than a physical body. Knowledge about subtle bodies was relegated to esoteric circles, encoded in symbols, and hidden in hard-to-access texts. But this knowledge never disappeared. It has been preserved in the teachings of alchemists, in the rituals of shamans, and in the texts of ancient spiritual orders. And today it is resurfacing with more strength than ever, because understanding the four bodies is the first step toward real awakening. It's not enough to care for the physical body, train the mind, or meditate occasionally. We must integrate all dimensions of our being to achieve balance and connection with our true essence. And here arises the big question: what are these bodies and how can we harmonize them? Tell me in the comments, Which aspect of these two bodies feels most out of balance in your life, and what concrete action will you take to harmonize it? Sharing your experience can be the first step toward change. We will dive into the first half of this mystery, the physical body and the emotional body. We will discover how they affect our existence and what we can do to balance them. Because without a solid foundation, awakening is nothing more than an illusion. We have revealed that the human being is not just a physical body, but a multidimensional structure composed of four interconnected bodies. Each fulfills an essential purpose in our evolution and awakening. But without balance, these bodies become a prison, keeping us trapped in confusion, suffering, and limitation. We will explore the first two levels of our existence, the physical body and the emotional body. The physical body is the most evident and tangible, the vehicle we inhabit in this plane. Through it, we experience pleasure, pain, fatigue, and vitality. It's the structure that allows us to interact with the material world. But here's the secret few understand. The physical body is not just flesh and bone, it is energy and motion. Ancient traditions knew this. In Egypt, the body was considered a sacred temple that had to be cared for and purified to achieve enlightenment. In India, Ayurveda teaches that the food we eat, the air we breathe, and our daily habits determine our internal vibration. And modern science confirms what the ancients already knew. Quantum physics has shown that at a subatomic level, our bodies are composed of vibrating particles that respond to consciousness. What you think, what you feel, and what you believe directly affect the structure of your biology. To align your physical body and allow the activation of the other bodies, we must follow certain essential keys. Conscious nutrition. It's not just about eating, but about nourishing the body's vital energy. Fresh, natural, living foods raise the vibration. Processed, toxic food blocks it. Movement and breathing. The body was designed to move. Physical activity, yoga, deep breathing, and contact with nature not only strengthen the body, but also unblock stagnant energy flows. Rest and regeneration. Sleep is not just a biological function, it's a tool for energetic restoration. A tired or intoxicated body is a barrier to the expansion of consciousness. But here's something even deeper. The physical body is only the first level. Beyond it lies a more powerful system, the emotional body. The emotional body is the bridge between the physical world and the mental world. Here reside our emotions, passions, fears, and joys. But what few people know is that emotions are not just chemical reactions in the brain, they are energy. Each emotion we feel emits a vibration. When we feel love, gratitude, or compassion, our frequency rises, aligning with higher states of consciousness. But most people are trapped at this level without realizing it. They are slaves to their emotional reactions, repeating patterns of suffering without understanding their origin. Why? Because the emotional body is intimately tied to the subconscious. Here, traumas, limiting beliefs, and memories of past lives are stored. Freud expressed it masterfully. Until the unconscious becomes conscious, the subconscious will direct your life and you will call it fate. This means that if you don't master your emotional body, you will be a prisoner of your impulses and unconscious repetitions. To heal and align the emotional body, consider these practices. Conscious expression of emotions. Emotions should not be repressed, but also not uncontrolled. Learning to feel them and let them flow without attachment is key to healing. Practice of gratitude. Gratitude is one of the highest vibrations. When we give thanks, we reprogram the emotional body to align with abundance and harmony. Cutting energetic ties. Often, we carry emotions that don't even belong to us. Techniques like forgiveness meditation and energetic release can help you let go of emotional attachments. Living in the present. Emotional suffering comes from identifying with the past or anxiety about the future. The key is to learn to inhabit the present with full awareness. So far, we've seen that the physical body and the emotional body are the foundation of our existence. However, here's a dilemma. If they aren't guided by something higher, these bodies can become prisons. You can have a healthy body and feel intense emotions, but if you don't know how to direct them, you'll remain trapped in illusion. This is where the remaining two bodies come in, the mental body and the spiritual body. We will explore these more subtle dimensions of existence and discover whether we are trapped in the matrix or ready to awaken. So far, we have explored the first two bodies that make up our existence: the physical body, our material vehicle in this world, and the emotional body, the energetic field where our deepest emotions and vibrations reside. But these bodies alone are not enough to achieve awakening. Without direction and purpose, the physical body becomes a mere biological machine, and the emotional body a chaotic storm of impulses and reactions. To transcend this prison, we need to understand the two higher levels of our existence: the mental body and the spiritual body. The mental body is the center of our thoughts, beliefs, and perceptions. It's the tool with which we process reality, create ideas, and make sense of our experiences. But here's a truth few dare to acknowledge. The mind, when not understood or trained, becomes our greatest prison. From the moment we are born, our way of thinking is shaped by society, education, culture, and family history. We are taught to see the world in a specific way, limiting us to certain paradigms and restricting our potential. Are you the master of your mind or its prisoner? Think about this. Have you ever felt like you repeat negative patterns without knowing why? Do you feel like your thoughts constantly sabotage you? Have you noticed that most of your suffering comes from your own perception? This happens because most people don't control their mind. They are controlled by it. Here, the mind can play a dual role. It can be your jailer if you live trapped in limiting thoughts, anxiety, and imposed beliefs. Your mind becomes a wall that blocks your evolution. Or it can be your liberator if you learn to observe your thoughts, question your beliefs, and direct your focus. Your mind becomes the most powerful tool to manifest the reality you desire. Ancient traditions have spoken of this power since time immemorial. Hermeticism, for example, teaches the principle of mentalism. The all is mind, the universe is mental. This means that the reality we experience is nothing more than a reflection of our own mental structure. If you want your mind to work for you and not against you, you must train it. Here are some essential practices. Conscious observation. Learn to notice your thoughts without identifying with them. You are not your mind. You are the consciousness that observes it. Detachment from limiting beliefs. Constantly ask, is this true, or is it just an idea I adopted without questioning? The power of intention. Direct your thoughts toward the reality you desire, instead of letting them drag you into fear and doubt. The mental body is the bridge between the earthly and the divine, but there is a higher level that transcends it entirely. Here we arrive at the most subtle level of our existence, the spiritual body. Music. The spiritual body is the ultimate truth of your existence. It's not just a philosophical concept, it's what you truly are. While the physical body belongs to the world of matter, the emotional body to the world of sensations, and the mental body to the realm of thoughts, the spiritual body is the direct connection to universal consciousness. All spiritual traditions speak of this truth. In Hinduism, it's called Atman, the true self that transcends the ego. In Buddhism, it's the Buddha nature, the state of enlightenment beyond the mind. In Hermetic philosophy, it's the divine spark, the essence that connects us to the all. But here's the great problem. We live disconnected from our spiritual body. From birth, our attention is absorbed by the material world. We identify with the body, with emotions, with the mind, but we forget the essential. Our true identity is pure, infinite, and eternal consciousness. The ego is the barrier that prevents us from remembering this. It's the voice in our mind that tells us we are separate, that we are only individuals with a beginning and an end. But this is an illusion. Mystical traditions teach that awakening is not about learning something new, but remembering what we have always been. When we manage to connect with this level of existence, fear disappears because you understand that you are eternal. Anxiety dissolves because you realize that life has a greater purpose. Confusion vanishes because you stop seeking answers outside and begin to listen to your inner wisdom. To restore the connection with your true self, practice these principles: silence and meditation. The mind creates noise. The spirit speaks in silence. Dedicate time to absolute stillness. Observation of nature. Life itself is a reflection of the all. Observing it deeply reminds us of our connection to creation. Living in the present. The spirit does not dwell in the past or the future. only in the now. Total presence is the key. When we achieve this connection, we realize that awakening is not something we must seek, but something that has always been within us. But here's something crucial. It's not enough to understand the four bodies. We must integrate them. They must work together. I'll teach you how to align the four bodies in your daily life to achieve ultimate harmony. But first, tell me in the comments, do you feel that your mind drives you or limits you? And how do you perceive your connection with your spiritual body? Share your experience, because by putting our reflections into words, we take the first step toward true awakening. Because knowledge without action transforms nothing. Understanding the four bodies is only the first step. True awakening happens when we align and strengthen each one in our daily lives. If we only develop one aspect of our being and neglect the others, the balance breaks. A strong physical body with a chaotic mind is still a prison. A powerful mind without emotional stability is torment. And a spiritual connection without grounding in reality is just a fleeting illusion. That's why I'll share essential practices to integrate these four bodies and achieve balance. How to align the physical body. Conscious nutrition. Eat fresh, natural, vibrational foods. Everything you ingest becomes energy within you. Movement and breathing. Yoga, martial arts, barefoot walks. Any activity that keeps your body in harmony with vital energy. Restorative rest. Deep sleep is not a luxury. It's a requirement to regenerate the body's energy. How to heal the emotional body. Expression without repression. Anger, sadness, and fear are messages from the subconscious. Don't ignore them, but don't cling to them either. Practice of gratitude. Gratitude is the highest vibration. Give thanks for what you have and what is yet to come. Cutting energetic ties. Meditate and release stagnant emotions. Don't carry what no longer belongs to you. How to strengthen the mental body. Reprogramming beliefs. Constantly ask, is this true, or is it just an idea I adopted without questioning? Silence and focus. A scattered mind is weak. Meditate, filter the information you consume, and strengthen your ability to concentrate. Creative visualization. Reality follows the mind. Project what you wish to experience. How to activate the spiritual body. Meditation and contemplation. Listen to the silence. The truth is not outside but within you. Living in the present. The spirit does not dwell in the past or the future, only in the now. Service and compassion. True spirituality is not just introspection, it's acting with love and purpose. When we align these four bodies, awakening is no longer a possibility, but an inevitable consequence. And here arises the final question. Are you willing to integrate this knowledge and transform your life? In conclusion, we will tie all the threads together and reveal the final piece of this mystery. Throughout this journey, we have unearthed a secret that has been hidden, distorted, and forgotten for centuries. Now you know that you are not just a physical body. You are a multidimensional structure composed of four interconnected bodies. The physical body, the vehicle we inhabit in this existence. The emotional body, the vibrational field where our emotions and subconscious patterns reside. The mental body, the architect of our perception and the key to shaping our reality. The spiritual body, our true essence, the connection to the infinite. But here's the final truth. Knowing this changes nothing unless you apply it. The biggest mistake you can make now is to ignore this information, letting it fade into the inertia of your daily life. But those who take action, those who integrate this knowledge into their daily lives, are the ones who experience true awakening. Awakening is not a destination, it's a path. Awakening doesn't happen in an instant. It's a process of constant integration. Every day you can choose to strengthen your physical body, balance your emotions, expand your mind, and connect with your spiritual essence. You don't need to change your life overnight, but every small action aligned with this knowledge brings you closer to total harmony. The final question is, will you continue living fragmented, or will you take responsibility for integrating your being? Now that you have this knowledge, you can no longer go back. The decision is in your hands. Will you keep seeing reality from a limited perspective, or will you take control of your bodies, aligning them to awaken to your fullest potential? This is just the beginning of a deeper path. If this knowledge has resonated with you and you want to keep exploring these hidden mysteries, subscribe to the channel and activate notifications. Leave in the comments, which body do you feel is most out of balance, and what will you do to harmonize it? Share this video with someone who needs to hear this truth, because when one being awakens, it helps others awaken. We'll see you in the next video.